Hey there, you me and DC fans, and welcome if you're new. I am the stepson of Krypton, coming to you today with Absolute Superman issue number 14. Things are really starting to heat up, guys. I am recording this on Christmas Day. It'll be released tomorrow, so I hope everybody's had a great Christmas. Don't want to waste a lot of time. I don't want to focus on the glasses. What I want to do is get into the issue, so let's go. Previously on Absolute Superman. Ra's al Ghul has invaded Smallville. Brainiac has taken over Seoul. Lois and Jimmy are trapped amongst the now purple line crystals created by Brainiac using Soul. And Ra's stands over Superman with a massive kryptonite sword. However, this issue opens up with a kind of a red haze to the page, and we see Cal laying there in the grass, and he's being licked by our favorite canine Crypto, and everything seems happy. But we're getting a narration about the pain he's in and the blood he's coughing up. And then suddenly we see Cal's parents, we see Jor-El, we see Laura telling him to come home. But what he's doing is what all of Krypton has done before. He's dying. When we snap back to reality, Cal is being stabbed through the side by Raish's massive kryptonite sword. Raish is still expecting Cal to kneel before him and become his son, telling Cal to pick up his guts and kneel. But what is his plans for Cal? To be the Red Storm of Judgment? To save this world? And from who? And I know the expression "he spat in my face" gets used a lot by villains, but this time it actually happens as Cal spits blood at the demon's head. Or God, if you're Raish. But if there is a God, it ain't Raish. Growing tired of Cal's insubordination, he stabs through his hand. He wants to unlock Cal's rage. A boy from Kansas cannot save this world. But a scion, which is a descendant from a notable family, could. We do find out that Raish has been busy, having fathered 97 sons, but none of them have even been worthy of living, let alone standing by his side. Now, to me, kind of a quick break here. This is kind of interesting because, like, unlike Thanos, who, he would take kids and then call them his, Raish is saying none of them were worthy of living, implying that he actually fathered them. Otherwise, why would he take them if they weren't worthy? But it would seem the only way to break Cal's rage free is to kill his friends, currently being held by the former AI known as Soul. But suddenly, we hear that familiar voice, our old buddy Soul, fighting back against Brainiac. He isn't going to let them kill Cal's friends. But with Brainiac being so embedded in Soul's source code, what can Soul do? However, if Brainiac can see Soul that deeply, Soul can see him as well. Isn't that right, Brainiac? Or should we say Brainiac 419,732? And Soul, knowing he is damaged beyond repair, in his final act, deletes his operating system. Goodbye, brother. Now Cal is pissed, and he grabs the kryptonite sword with his bare hand as Ra's grabs Cal by the throat. Become Kal Al Ghul, the son of the demon, his wrath. And it really is like he thinks he is God, and he wants Cal to become the Spectre, which obviously is Spectre is the wrath of God. But Cal has other plans, as we see a massive explosion. And do mean massive because you can see the big mechs and the smaller cars and those itty bitty dots saying those are people. With Brainiac no longer in control of Soul, the tunnel opens up and they get to get all of the townspeople out because the tunnels are no longer safe. And Jimmy digging through the sunstone crystals looking for any sign of life from his buddy Soul. However, the peacemakers, on the other hand, are worried for Raish, but Talia is quick to point out that even an explosion like that won't stop him. But they should still pray. Pray for the son of the demon. Pray for Superman. We see Raish coming out of the flames, his expensive suit burned off, and the man is a beast. I mean, just towering over Cal. And while Raish is happy that Cal is finally showing some spirit, it's still not enough. Another hit with the kryptonite sword, scraping down to the bone, and Cal is picked up by one of the Lazarus mechs. But the townspeople of Smallville have something to say as they stand ready to fight to get Cal back. And while they may not have the tech that the peacemakers do, most of them are pretty good shots. And these are hunters and farmers. And as Raish approaches the mech, you would think he would praise the operator for collecting Cal, but instead is pissed that he would even consider touching his son. He takes out one of the legs of the mech with the kryptonite sword. And now it's time to take out the operator. And just as he goes to bring the sword down on the guy, Cal steps in and blocks it with his arm. But this looks like just the final straw. No son of the demon would ever save his persecutor. It is time the siege of Smallville ended.
Wipe them out. All of them.
He doesn't quite go Emperor on them, but close. But Cal can't let that happen. If he spares them, he will do whatever Raish says. Raish still holding on to a glimmer of hope that Cal will embrace his destiny, at least the one he has for him. Cal instead rips his suit, removing the symbol of his people. He has no people. That line kind of reminded me of Zod in Man of Steel. I have no people. And he knows that Raish will still kill the townspeople, even if he does what he wants. But it gets worse. He's not going to kill them. He wants Cal to kill them. But using the torn part of his suit, he decides to forge something else. He makes a sword to help stop the vicious attacks on him, swinging to block Raish's kryptonite sword. And at the same time, Raish orders the peacemakers to fire on the townspeople. But suddenly, a no is heard from one of the peacemakers. Good old Joe. He sows doubt in the others' minds, reminding them that they didn't sign up to kill farmers from Kansas. Also, keeping in mind that moments ago, Raish was going to kill him for just trying to make him happy by collecting his would be son. So, why would you follow a man like that? And it is here that we find out that Raish has been on this earth for at least 500 years, or at least that long he's been killing people with a sword. But Cal points out he still can't fly. Then we get this kind of 2-page epic shot of Raish swinging the kryptonite sword and Cal flying down with his sunstone crystal sword. And we have some kind of interesting dialogue voiceover that it at first kind of seems like it's between Cal and Soul as they're talking about him and getting launched off the planet. And then it seems to kind of go like between Soul and Brainiac as they're kind of fighting over Cal. And I could be wrong. That's just how I'm reading it. Let me know down in the comments how you took it. Because the no, he's mine. Take your hands off of Superman is what makes me kind of think that it's Brainiac and Soul. Again, could be wrong. But we go back to where we were at the beginning of the issue. Cal's in the red tinted dream with his parents, and he's ready to go home. But they tell him that he is already home. And just then we see the Sunstone Blade shatter the kryptonite one Raish has. That is it. Cal has done the impossible. He has beaten the demon's head. But he isn't upset. He now kneels before the son of the demon. The only thing left to do is strike Raish down and take his rightful place. Now, for my Arrowverse fans, this may kind of give you flashbacks to season 3 of Arrow when Raish wanted Oliver to do the same thing, to take his place and to kill him so that he becomes the new head of the demon. Or for my older Batman the Animated Series fans, in the first season, keep in mind the first season was like 60-something episodes. Episode 57 and 58, a two-parter there, it was the same thing with Batman. He wanted Batman to become his successor. So, I mean, obviously throughout the comics and animated and everything else, there's always been the established he's looking for his successor. But Cal has other plans. He takes Raish to Pakistan and gives him to the people to hold him accountable for the 23 people that were killed in their streets. Because if you remember back to issue 9, that's what we were kind of opening with. And the people are grateful, and they want to know the name of the person they have to thank for it. We then flash forward a few weeks later, back in Kansas. Cal's narrating the events that have transpired. Jimmy and Lois's broadcast made it out, so the world knows what happened in Smallville. And you can tell by the amount of news crews all throughout the town. Looks like the end for the Lazarus Corporation. As he continues to walk the town incognito, we find out that he gathered every speck of sunstone crystal, and while the cape still functions, Soul is gone. I think it's time to spend a few days in the sun and heal. He definitely needs it. But there's something else he needs to do: check up on his Earth mom. The nurse tells Cal how over the last few weeks, Martha seemed like her old self, busy, trying to get something done before Cal got there. She knew he would be coming by. But sadly, just the night before, she died peacefully in her sleep. And while she was losing her memories, she never forgot her husband, Jonathan, or Cal, her son. The nurse hands Cal a box. This is what Martha had been working on the last few weeks of her life that she wanted to give to Cal.
For our angel, our lost son, Clark Kent.
And we see a nearly completed Superman outfit. I like that it kind of goes back to the Silver Age where Martha created the suit for him. And I know she's created the suits in other ages. I'm just saying that was the original one. But we still also he still has the suit, the newer suit that was created by Laura. So both of his moms have given him a suit. And that is where the issue ends. All right, guys. I did love this issue. I kind of wish it was a little bit longer of an issue, or maybe it could have stretched into a two-parter. I think you could have really gotten that much out of a fight between, Raish and Superman. But I still thought it was a great issue. I loved that, Martha at least got a peaceful ending, and that, he got at least the majority of the suit that kind of looks like, the normal Superman suit, even though I do love the absolute suit as well. Let me know, how did you guys feel about this one down in the comments here? Do you like it? Are you enjoying the Absolute Superman series? Because I know I for sure am. And if you've made it with me this far, you might as well go ahead and give the video a like, subscribing to the channel, because it definitely helps us out. We don't ask you for money or anything. And then having the bell notifications clicked so you will get alerted as we are doing the entire series. Mantis was good enough to put the entire thing for me into a playlist for you guys so that you can just go and watch all of the absolutes and everything we're doing in the KO event, guys. And keep this video as short as is humanly possible. That is going to do it for me on this episode of You, Me, and DC. Until next time, guys, I'll see you then.